first large-scale free clinic in Mozambique provides medical care for affected residents. U.S. Tzu Chi volunteers revisit a local orphanage to check on the condition of children in need. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Maggie Tsai. Thank you for joining us. Following Cyclone Idai in East Africa, Tzu Chi has continued to offer care and compassion. It recently held a free clinic in Mozambique, which was the first large-scale free clinic Tzu Chi has hosted in Africa. Registration at the clinic was 719 people on just the very first day.
His scars have gotten thicker, but it may still itch. I don't think he has stopped the infection.
This physician is busy evaluating medication for this child's legs. Bacterial infection has caused inflammation, leaving a thick layer of scars.
Because he has been scratching it, it has become hard like this. What kind of treatment do we give him? This is antibiotics. On the other hand, if it is still itchy, we may give him an ointment for itching. If he is not very itchy, we give a steroid cream and let it slowly disappear.
The child may have never seen a doctor before, and this time he finally has a chance to receive treatment. The doctors and nursing staff come from Taiwan, the United States, Australia, Malaysia, and South Africa as they conduct this important cross-border clinic. The medical team borrowed the classrooms of the TICA Middle School to serve as a clinic, offering 6 types of care: internal medicine, external medicine, OB/GYN, pediatrics, dentistry, and traditional Chinese medicine. This is also the first time that TIMA held a large-scale free clinic in Africa.
Today there are many patients, but they needed to be reclassified as our volunteers didn't have enough medical care experience. So there are very long lines of patients from 500 to 1,000.
The school has a long queue, and the villagers know that there are visiting doctors, which may delay treatment for a long time. The director of a local orphanage also came to the hospital with a child.
Today I brought 3 children. This one has the hernia, and he just saw the doctor. And the other one has a toothache, and the other one we suspect is malaria. Malaria is very common here, and if you go to the hospital, you can deal with it right away. The other things may be more troublesome and more difficult to deal with.
As the clinic concluded, there was an unexpected situation. A boy fell from a tree and the villagers sent him to the clinic, but they lacked medical equipment on the spot. He may have suffered intracranial hemorrhage and a fracture. After being evaluated by a physician, he was taken to hospital for treatment. This time, the clinic originally planned to serve only 500 patients, but the medical team offered open registration in order to integrate with the local culture.
We had thought about issuing coupons beforehand, but after investigating, we found out this procedure does not fit with local culture, as local people don't really like to see the doctor or tell other people about their illness. So this made it impossible for us to distribute these advance coupons.
Unexpectedly, there are more and more people joining this queue. The doctors patiently saw all the patients and even taught some of the medical students.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There is a hope that one day the medical treatment here will change because of this visit by foreign medical doctors.
TIMA Hong Kong Chapter joined the local YWCA to host a free clinic for the elderly in the North District, in the New Territory, and the Ta Kwu Ling District. Most of the seniors were not used to seeing doctors and did not like to go out. So the volunteers arranged 2 buses to pick them up and drive them to the free clinic venue. Tzu Chi International Medical Association joined the local YWCA and held free clinic examinations for seniors. They even arranged buses to pick up the seniors from their homes to bring them to the venue.
A feature of the North District is that it is a vast area. Many solitary seniors live in suburban areas and don't like to move away from their current locations because they have been living there for decades. However, their living environments are very bad. It's hot in the summer and cold in the winter, and they don't know how to take care of themselves.
TIMA can provide health examinations so the seniors can pay more attention to their health and also sense the warmth. They can know that the community still cares about them.
讓佢哋去感受得到即係社區其實對於呢班長者仍然有好多關心嘅。
Dr. Ouyang Dongwei and his wife Li Shunhua are from the internal medicine. This is their first time to join the free clinic. They feel at ease with the layout of the clinics and the way the volunteers treat the elderly.
I'm happy to have this chance to do humanitarian work because I work in a hospital and hardly have a chance to meet another group of people who need help.
This is a large-scale and well-organized event. I feel this is a very good organization.
The 47 medical professionals still carry out every examination on the seniors with the peace of mind. These elderly people will have no more excuses of not seeing the doctor. In 1999, the Nipah virus spread in Sembilan State in Malaysia through the contact between humans and pigs. The disease claimed 108 lives, which was the most tragic epidemic in the history of Malaysia. 20 years later, local residents have recovered from this pain and have largely stopped the local hog farming business. Many of them have joined Tzu Chi volunteers in promoting recycling and vegetarian diets in the area. Here is our report. In 1999, Nipah virus spread in Sembilan State. Humans got infected when contacting pigs, and the epidemic took 108 lives within 3 months. It was the most deadly disease in the history of Malaysia.
短短的1-2个礼拜内啊，我们这边排山倒海啊，那些人啊，全部发高烧，而且经验那时候开始，很多人都开始紧张了啊。
Iming Hong's husband was infected by the virus and was paralyzed for 12 years.
I thought that we must accept the reality and stop the pain because I need to take care of my children and husband. So I asked myself to stop thinking too much.
Other than help from government and society, Tzu Chi volunteers also hosted emergency aid distribution at the time and went to hospitals to care for the affected families.
We have mobilized more than 120 Tzu Chi volunteers for the 2 distribution venues. Everyone put down their regular work to concentrate on the busy event here today.
Most of our work is to care and comfort them, both materially and mental ways.
To ease the epidemic, the government started to kill all the pigs and ban the hog industry. Pig farmers changed jobs. Lo Chao Lan and her husband began to plant dragon fruit and start a new life.
Whether we raised pigs or shrimp, we were sustaining our lives with their lives. I thought it wasn't very appropriate.
In the beginning, we care for them once every 2 weeks.
A volunteer who was involved in a disaster relief left his family restaurant and opened a vegetarian restaurant.
I felt that there would be bad karma if I'm still eating meat, and the economy was bad. So I thought that maybe I should change to opening a vegetarian restaurant to make a living.
In 2003, member of the Shanghai Nipah Virus Disaster Relief Committee established the Tzu Chi recycling point with the help of volunteers and local residents.
My thought hasn't changed for the past 20 years. We don't have much time, so we must do the right thing.
Iming Hong has joined the volunteer team after her husband passed away.
Now my children have grown up and my life is easier, so I use my free time to do recycling to give back. I feel very happy.
After 20 years, affected residents have faced the pain with love and learned to cherish life because they have volunteers' constant companionship. Sierra Leone is one of the poorest countries in the world. The average income of people is less than $1 a day. The civil war has finally ended, but the Ebola crisis and natural disasters have come one after another. The first to suffer are children. In April of this year, YWCA volunteers once again went to the Don Bosco Family Orphanage in Freetown to look after the children.
Good morning once again, everyone. Good morning. Did you see these small bags of rice, 10-kilo bag rice? You know them? Yes. You have seen them? Yes, you know them. And have you chopped this rice?
Yes, sir.
It's sweet?
Yes.
Very sweet. So the people who are donating this rice are the Tzu Chi Foundation.
Tzu Chi Foundation.
Thank you very much. Hey, say, thank you very much. Don Bosco Fambul is an NGO dedicated to the care of children who live in risky situations in the streets of Freetown, both boys and girls. The idea is that they don't throw away these ones, but you see, we use knitting and all these activities as a therapy. When they are reunified with their families, what we do is to give each child one or two of these bags, and they use them to go to school or to keep in their own rooms or wherever. They put their own personal things and pencils and notebooks, etc., etc., etc. Wow. So you see, nothing is wasted. We eat the rice and we use the bags.
In 1999, Catholic priests created the Don Bosco Family Orphanage in order to protect the fragile children on the streets from being taken in by troops. Although the civil war is over now, the problem of the street children in Freetown has not been solved. In addition to teach children life skills, they also drive buses on the streets every night to find the children who need help.
Every night, we go to the streets with this bus. That is one of our programs. The mission of the bus is to search for them. We are going to them. We don't wait for them to come to us.
We have different activities. We give them different games, cards, drafts, and other local games.
Go now and talk what God don't do for you.
And also, we have medical support here. We have the nurse who normally takes them into the bus, and administer treatment. We just don't get in contact with them, but we are also able to transform them and reunify them, and so that they can be well reintegrated.
Don Bosco Childline, how may I help you? I'm the coordinator of Don Bosco Childline, which is primarily responsible to provide advice and counseling for kids and teenagers when they find themselves in difficulty. The uncle, the husband of the aunt, is attempting to touch on your private body parts. Since Don Bosco, we have 3 shelters where we can locate them for temporal shelter, temporarily, whilst the matter is being pursued. There is a unit in the police station that is called Family Support Unit. These units, we are in close partnership. You can give the name of the child, the name of the perpetrator, if possible, the name of the parent, the address of the house, and then the police can effect arrest immediately. Whatever the situation, whatever the outcome, give us a call so that you update us about the situation.
There is a lot of pain, and I think that our mission here is to absorb as much pain as we can.
Most of these kids are locked with, potentials. So it is our responsibility to help them to unleash that potentials and give them a better life.
Audrey Wayne of Tzu Chi School in Indonesia used to dislike going to school and her grades were low. But when she was in the 3rd grade, her PE teacher discovered her talent in sports and encouraged her to join the soccer team. She's now graduating this year and has earned a lot of honors for the school and has become a young woman with great strength.
Audrey Wang is very agile on the soccer field. Even if her opponents are boys who are physically stronger, it doesn't discourage her. She owes her confidence to her teachers.
Thank you.
I want to thank the teachers for their guidance and support, and the support from friends. I want to thank Daddy and Mommy for their love and support.
Thank you for your love and support.
Audrey Wang likes coming to school, but when she came to school the first time, she cried every day, and she could not catch up with everyone else in her studies. It was not until her third grade that her PE teacher discovered her talent. She joined the soccer team and won good scores.
As her coach and PE teacher, I'm very happy towards Audrey's achievement. She also did her best in bringing honor to the school.
Her good performance in the soccer games also started her demand for herself. She stopped skipping school and her grades also improved.
After I began playing soccer, I like going to school, and I also made a lot of friends. I am happy to be at school.
Kata untuk Audrey yang merepresentasikan gimana dia adalah.
I can describe her with one sentence, and that is calm and creative, because she has a calm personality. She's creative because she knows how to express herself.
Gimana dia bisa mengekspresikan dirinya.
Now Audrey Wang will graduate from the elementary school. She also loves playing basketball, and she has joined a national training team. The love she feels at her school will allow her to have a bright future.
In Sichuan Province, China, Mingshan Middle School has begun to host a sign language musical contest every year since 2014 in hopes of inspiring students to appreciate their parents. School officials have found that this activity has positively impacted on both the students' academic performance and cultural manner. Every May, there are always students rehearsing sign language and formations with music at Mingshan Middle School.
现在是采用高年级带低年级这样的一种训练模式。
Now we have senior students training juniors so they can help each other and pass down the tradition. We want the children to understand the dedication of their parents and be thankful to them.
付出的这些心情，这辛苦，然后发自内心的对父母的这种感恩。
To learn to appreciate parents is the lesson every student must learn in the school.
母亲怀胎10月苦行，然后。
During the 10-month pregnancy period, my mother can hardly sleep and eat. This reminded me of when my mom was pregnant. She had difficulty to eat, sleep, and go to bathroom.
I want to perform for my mom especially so that she can feel our love for her.
To prepare for the annual musical contest, teachers and students spend over 20 days to practice during their free time.
The biggest change we saw in our students is that now they will greet teachers automatically, and they won't shy from talking to school guests. This was unimaginable in the past.
In recent years, our academic performance and test results have continued to improve. These extracurricular activities have no negative impact to our teachings, but have accelerated their learning.
帮助促进的一种影响。
On top of knowledge in school subjects, Mingshan Middle School has made it their mission to also excel in moral education for their students. An aging population creates some unexpected business opportunities. For example, one 68-year-old individual Wei Shu-tai has become an instructor of board game. He regularly visits elderly and interacts with them to keep them fit and healthy through interactive board games. Today, we take you to learn more about this very enterprising elder man.
Wei Shu-tai is 67 years old and is a board game instructor. He teaches elders how to play board games. Is it easy to play games at the age of 67? The average age of those in his class is over 50. These simple warm-up exercises help draw these elderly people closer to the game. None of these elders feel like dozing off, and they don't act like typical elders either. This activity stimulates their brain, and these popular board games are popular with this group who has more than 1,000 years in age.
I think that the biggest difference is the obstacle between different age groups. Young players may not have the same enthusiasm as elders, and they may not do as much preparation or homework as the elders. So elders may ask more questions. When they ask more questions, we worry that in their heart they may still not understand.
In the past, he was a civil servant, and 3 years before retirement, he transferred to the Veteran Affairs Council home, began to interact with elders. At the age of 67, YWCA began to excel and carry out his dream job.
After I retired, I began to think that my knowledge, strength, and ability is not just about making money, but helping society. I want to use my gifts to help others. I shouldn't just stay at home, but go out and help elders.
He still had the desire to pursue a new profession in which he had no experience. Jumping into the area led to more demands upon him, which he had never considered when he was young.
It is not that I'm not benefiting, but I think my greatest gift is understanding what I will be like tomorrow.
When I get to the age of Mr. Wei, I don't know if I will have the energy and physical strength to do these board games, which are not electronic. Actually, these types of games promote a lot of interpersonal interaction.
An emphasis on interaction and stimulating the brain is YWCA's goal of living a healthy life. He is using the latter part of his life to teach more students about how to live life to the fullest.
Many people donated their second-hand clothes to the Tzu Chi recycling station. Tzu Chi volunteer Ling Yan organized these donated clothes so the public and volunteers can come over and buy them, so they extended the value to these second-hand clothes.
This tiny area at the Dongda recycling station is a secret base for volunteer Ling Yan. She spends all day organizing these second-hand clothes. Ling Yan said that many of these clothes are still very good, but it's a pity that they have been thrown away.
I feel they are treasures, so I cherish these donated clothes.
She goes through these piles of second-hand clothes, organizes them, and hangs them up, so these clothes can be worn again.
These used clothes are as good as new ones, and there are different kinds of them.
All the earnings from selling these clothes goes to Tzu Chi. When volunteers come to cook or do recycling at Dongda recycling station, they will also come here to extend the usefulness of these clothes.
I want to thank everyone for cherishing them and reusing them.
A Chinese elementary school in Shoreba, Malaysia was the pioneer to promote Vegetarian Day by a weekly Healthy Diet Day. We'll leave you with these images and thank you for joining us. Goodbye.